How we doing, folks? Welcome back to another episode on the Project Boat series. Now, when I left you last, we finished the tank, and a few guys actually contacted us via Instagram and sent us a few messages regarding a couple of things, but also some guys commented on YouTube as well there on the video with some tips. Now, the first was that the baffles didn't have holes right up the top of the baffles. Now, the reason I didn't do that, and it's a huge oversight on my behalf, the reason I didn't do that is because I was just under the impression that a front and rear breather would allow fuel to fill the complete length of this tank. Now, unfortunately, that's not the case. So you need air to be able to travel between those baffles all the way to the front of the compartment. So what I've done is opened the tank up, drilled holes through all the top of the baffles to allow that tank to fill to maximum capacity. Then we've sealed those up. Now, some other guys also mentioned that we may have some problems with welding up against the bulkhead, and yes, you were 100% correct. So what we've done is opened the tank back up at the rear, inspected that. Welding up against the tank is probably not going to work up against fiberglass, and yes, you are correct. Two reasons why it didn't work. A, the resin that was inside the welds, no good to weld up with. B, it was too hot for the fiberglass where the plate was laminated to, so it did damage the fiberglass. So we've had to cut open the tank, readjust our design, and what we've done is made the plate on the inside a prefabricated part, and then like pre-welded on a bench separate, and then slid it in from the inside, glued it all up from the inside, sealed it. But additionally, I've put a plate on the outside as well. So there's a couple of things to keep in mind if you do one of these fiberglass tanks yourself. One other point I will touch on is the sealing of the fiberglass. Now, I have done an experiment to demonstrate that vinyl ester resin should, fingers crossed, so vinyl ester resin fully cured should be absolutely fine for the use in fuel tanks. Now, anyone who has any concerns about that and you're building a tank, sure, go ahead, get those coatings, get those fuel resistant coatings. I'm pretty sure epoxy resin is fine to use in the application of fuel tanks, but don't take my word for it. Go do your own research, work it out. So moving forward, what we've also done on the boat itself. Now, I've added 3 more layers of glass to the stringers. Now, I haven't done that all the way up and over the stringers. I've come up to here. So I've added an extra 3 layers, and obviously 2 layers of 450 chop and 1 layer in between that of the double bias 600 GSM double bias. Now, that double bias, the 600, after I used it for the first time, previous to that we'd used the 450. After using the 600, I realized how much thicker and denser and stronger it is. So I wanted to throw some of that into the stringers just to give it that beef. Now, the stringer layup now really is up over 3000 GSM. Now, that is a heavy layup for stringers. So there's plenty of glass. What I've also done is wax coated the voids where we're going to fill. You'll notice that it is fully cured. It is not sticky at all anymore. And we're gonna foam fill those compartments shortly. I have also cut down our transom. So although it needs a little bit of grinding and tuning there, cut that down to size. It makes it easy for access in and out of the boat, and it's starting to look like the back of a boat to me now. Also, last but not least for the additions, is I have added a false floor into our kill box, and I've just added some more glass to that bulkhead. Because that bulkhead is at the impact zone, I've just been throwing heaps of glass at that to really give it some gusto, some strength. That's where we're at, guys. I'm gonna jump into a little bit of foam filling, I reckon, and just tuning the floor levels a little bit, working out where we're gonna go with that. So guys, anyone who's followed us this far, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the comments you guys have been throwing my way. There's no one insulting or carrying on like you see on Facebook groups or anything like that. It's all really positive criticism and constructive criticism that's really helping me along the way. So thanks to all you guys out there that are really chipping in that regard. It gives me confidence that I'm 90% of the way there with most of the work, and you guys are just making up that last 10% for me. So thank you very much.